एपट भाजा नॉलेज एपट बुली जा सपट बस एपट पळो एपट पळो एक वाटे ठेलियो और हल पड़ो हल वाटे ठेल बार गुड मॉर्निंग let's start the Delhi current affair discussion. The first topic that will take about the India's G20 presidency has committed to depoliticizing the global supply of food, fertilizer, and medical products so that geopolitical tension do not lead to humanitarian crisis. The challenge of hunger and food insecurity. For the first time in the decades, there is a rising number of hungry people, even though we produce enough food to feed 10 billion people. Okay, right now, food production is growing, but along with that, so people living in hunger is also on increase. Today, more than 800 million people go to bed hungry. Many of them, paradoxically, are small-scale farmers who produce one third of the world's foods. So, who are going to hunger? So, majority of them are farmers who are producers. Okay, but they are going to bed in empty stomach. Issue of underinvestment. Three-fourths of the world's poorest and the food insecure live in rural area. Rural economies, especially agriculture, have suffered from chronic underinvestment. Today, low and middle income countries are increasingly indebted, and global inflation and local currency depreciation are making it challenging for them to finance their development and climate action. Additionally, donor support for agriculture has stagnated at 4 to 6% the total official development assistance for the last 2 decades. That means support for agriculture by the donors is on a falling trend. What is needed? Estimates suggest that we need 300 to 400 billion annually until 2030 to transform food system. So investment need to grow at least 30 times. Significance of investing in rural agriculture: benefit for government, boosting local production, local food chain and local market means global food security, jobs and less conflict. It will also mean lower greenhouse gas emissions. Agriculture is responsible up to 21% of the total emission because methane, one of the major greenhouse gases released from the agricultural field, especially paddy fields. Okay, and agriculture is the major domain of releasing greenhouse gases. Okay, it will also mean lower greenhouse gas emission. Benefit for the private sector: investing in small scale farmers could be a win-win. Production costs are low, return on capital are high. Farmer organization and cooperative have shown they can achieve economy of scale, and crop diversification can defray risk for farmers and markets. Fine. So that is why investment in agriculture, especially the small domain or agriculture, will be helpful. Okay, in the long run, and it has a big prospect. Okay. Aid for the future. These investment can build long-term resilience and reduce the impact of climate change and other shocks. Every USD $1 spent on resilience save up to $10 in emergency aid in future. Investing in agriculture is at least 2 to 3 times more effective in reducing poverty than investment in other sectors. Investment by multilateral development banks and financial institutions. Small scale agricultural products still lack access to credit, market, technology, infrastructure, information, and land. This is where multilateral development banks and international financial institutions like the International Fund for Agricultural Development can make a big difference. If you de-risk investment through innovative financial instrument and mechanism, we can help agriculture become the center of growth it has the potential to be. About G20, G20 was formed in 1999 in the backdrop of the Asian financial crisis of the 1990s. to secure global financial stability by involving middle-income countries. Objective: to promote financial regulations that prevent future financial crises and to create a new international financial architecture to achieve global economic stability and sustainable growth. Member: Argentina, Australia, Brazil, Canada, China, France, Germany, Japan, India, Indonesia, Italy, Mexico, Russia, South Africa, Saudi Arabia, South Korea, Turkey, the UK, USA, and the European Union also is a member of G20. 19 countries and the European Union are the member of G20. Okay, G20 is an association of so developed and emerging of the world, developed and emerging economies of the world. Next, see the flags of the 20. Okay, Argentina, Australia, Brazil, Indian presidency because India is the present president of the G20. The presidency of G20 rotates every year among members. India holding the G20 presidency from 1st December 2020 to 30th November 2023. And India is going to host the G20 summit this year. And India want to make this event a mega event. India aims to strengthen international support for priorities of vital importance to developing countries in diverse social and economic sectors ranging from energy, agriculture, trade, digital economy, health and environment to employment, tourism, anti-corruption and women empowerment. Mobilizing resources, India's G20 presidency assumes critical importance in mobilizing resources that will allow us to deliver on the international community's resolve to ensure that every person has access to affordable, sufficient and nutritious food. This can be done through increased digitization, making insurance attractive for farmers and insurers, providing access to easy and discounted loans, securing land rights, and strengthening farmers' organization. India's experience and leadership. India is a crucial partner in the mission to end rural poverty and hunger. Okay, so G20 path. India has shown thoughtful leadership in advancing South-South and trilateral cooperation. This has only deepened with its increasing economic weight. G20 path. G20 can set off on the course to much needed structural change, mobilizing commitment for government, global financial institutions, investor and companies to invest in medium-term sustainable rural development and agriculture. Okay. Way ahead, the Indian presidency can deliver an operationally feasible roadmap for inclusive, resilient, and sustainable food system. This will end hunger for 800 million people, create over 120 million decent rural jobs, boost income for the bottom 20%, and combat climate change while also protecting biodiversity. Then the fish kill, that another environmental issue. Tens of thousands of dead fish have washed up the Gulf Coast of Texas due to low oxygen level in the water. But if fish kill, this is called a fish kill. It is a sudden and unexpected death of many fish and other aquatic animals over a short period and mostly within a particular area. It occurs mainly due to low level of dissolved oxygen in the water that causes suffocation of the fish. A combination of factors led to occurrence of the Texas fish kill. What are the major factors? Warm water. When sea surface temperature rises, it becomes difficult for the fish to breathe. As the oxygen dissolves easily in cold water in comparison to warm water. Things take a turn for the worse when the school of fish, means large quantity of fish, get trapped in the shallow water, which gets warmer more quickly. That means more and more fish accumulate over the shallow water, that increase the temperature. This causes fish to act more erratically, because so when they feel suffocated, they act more erratically, which in turn further deplete the oxygen from the water. Okay. So as we run, we take more of oxygen. Similarly, when the fish get more disturbed, so they need more oxygen. Low oxygen level could ultimately lead to the death of the fish. Calm sea on the way of the oxygen to enter the water by mixing with the wind and waves. So oxygen get mixed with the water by the force of wind and the waves. The wave along the Texas Gulf Coast have been very calm, causing the depletion of the reserve oxygen. With the wave being very calm there, so water body remain very calm, and the chances of that mixing of oxygen is reduced. Okay. Overcast weather due to cloudy sky, phytoplankton was unable to carry out process of photosynthesis, which is another way of producing oxygen in the water. The phytoplankton present in the water, they conduct the process of photosynthesis, and that way they also release oxygen. But because the cloudy weather, that they not encouraging, not that favorable for that the photosynthesis by the phytoplanktons. Photosynthesis is driven by sunlight, and it's slow down on cloudy days, resulting in decreased dissolved oxygen concentration in the water that suffocate the fish. What is the impact of climate change on the fish kill? When rising temperature of ocean, such incidents will become more prevalent. Warmer ocean will lead to less dissolved oxygen level, causing more death of fish. Fish like sardines will catch, and herring will become smaller in size and not be able to move to better environment. Some fish species have started to leave their natural habitat in search of cool water, which have disrupted the fish industry, because the fish, the catch areas are shifting, because the fish are migrating from the warm area to the more cooler areas, because they are suffocated in the warmer area where they are living earlier. So, what is the impact of climate change? So, with rising temperature of ocean, such incident will become more prevalent. Warmer ocean will lead to less dissolved oxygen level, causing more death of fish. Fish, like sardines, are affected. So, some fish species have started to leave their natural habitat in search of cool water. Then the Kutumbari temple. Okay, the ASI has not yet lost hope of finding out the location of the Kutumbari temple, which was built in the 8th century and was under its protection since 1915 but disappeared after 1964. So, key details: the Kutumbari temple is an ancient Hindu temple located in the Darat, Almora in Uttarakhand. According to ASI, 8 temples were under this that protection. The temple was originally situated on the higher slopes of the hill at Dawarhat. It is believed that local people took away parts of the temple to use in construction of their houses. ASI announced the temple disappearance and included it in the list of 50 lost monuments across India. Temple are last mentioned in the record completed in 1957, but since then, for the last more than 50-60 years, so the temple is missing. The temple is built by the Katuri rulers in the 8th century. These deities used to be worshipped there: Kutumbari, Baldev, and Gujardev. How can a monument go missing or lost? Many monuments and sites were lost to activities like urbanization, construction of dam and reservoirs, and even encroachment. 14 monuments have been lost to rapid urbanization. 12 are submerged by reservoir or dams, and 24 are untraceable, which brings the number of missing monuments to 50. Monument which could not be traced to on ground for a considerable time because of multiple factors. Despite the strenuous effort of ASI through its field officers, are referred as untraceable monuments. See, it's the same that when they are protected monuments by ASI, so okay. Some monuments which are missing: the Barakamba Cemetery in Delhi, the guns of Emperor Sher Shah in Tinsukia, Assam, the ruins of Copper Temple, Paya in Loti, Andhra Pradesh, Kasminar, Mudesar, Faridabad, Haryana, Kutumbari Temple, Dawarhat, Almora, Uttarakhand, Rock inscription, Satna, Madhya Pradesh, Old European Tomb, Pune, Maharashtra, 12th century temple, Varan, Rajasthan. Tellianala Buddhist ruin, Varanasi, Uttar Pradesh. They are missing. Okay. Then the next topic is about the pride flag. The month of June, recognized worldwide as the Pride Month, is marked by many events across India to celebrate the LGBTQ plus community. What is Pride flag? A Pride flag essentially represents the pride associated with the LGBTQ plus social movement. The Pride flag was used by the activists, members of the community, and allies as a symbol of resistance and acceptance. The design by renowned American artist and activist Gilbert Baker. Why it is called intersex inclusive progress pride flag? The intersex has been largely been underrepresented within broader queer narratives. Intersex people are born with sex characteristics including genital gonads and chromosomes patterns that do not fit typically binary notions of male or female bodies. In 2021, intersex equality rights decided to adopt the Pride Progress flag designed to incorporate the intersex flag, creating the intersex inclusive pride flag. What do the color of the flag signify? Red, life, orange, healing, yellow, new idea, green, prosperity, blue, serenity, violet, spirit, cobalt, part, black and brown, people of color, white, blue and pink, trans people, yellow with purple circle, intersex people. Different colors is assigned to different group. See, this is the flag. Then the Miyakai forest. Prime Minister Narendra Modi during his last Man Ki Baat episode spoke about the Miyawaki plantation, the Japanese method of creating dense urban forest in small area. Also cited the example of the Kerala-based teacher Rafael Ramnath, who used the Miyawakai technique to transform a barren land into a semi-forest called the Vidya Banam by planting 115 variety of tree in a very small patch of land. But in the Miyawakai plantation method, named after Japanese botanist Akira Miyawaki, this method involves planting 2 or 4 different types of indigenous tree within every square meter. In this method, the tree becomes self-support sustaining and they grow to their full length within 3 years. The methodology was developed in 1970 with the basic objective density green cover with a small parcel of land. The plant used in the Miyawaki method are mostly self-sustaining and do not require regular maintenance like manuring and watering. Over the years, this cost-effective method has become the go-to solution for the civic body to restore the green cover in a space-starved city like the Mumbai. How is Miyawaki useful? The dense green cover of indigenous tree play a key role in absorbing the dust particles of the area whereas the garden has been set up. The plants also help in regulating surface temperatures. Some of the common indigenous plants that are used for this forest include Anjan, Amla, Bell, Arjun and Gunj. With several infrastructure projects like the real estate, metro rail construction in progress in Mumbai last few years, it was recorded that the surface temperature in certain pockets of Mumbai has increased. Therefore, to fight this challenge, such forests are being created. At the industrial neighborhood in Marol and the east, the BMC Mumbai Municipal Corporation creating an urban forest with the Miyawaki method. These green patches play a major role in regulating the carbon level of given area, which may in return help in maintaining clean air. Which other area in Mumbai have such forest? According to the civic body data, 64 Miyawaki forests have been planted in Mumbai so far. The Miyawaki Drive was launched in under BMC's urban forest project. Uh, Madam, put online class में take up back करिए 20 minutes back on backwards. Sorry. Okay. The first such forest was created at Vakti Park at Chembur in the eastern suburb. The largest Miyawaki forest under this project was created at Chandibali's Nahar Amrut Shakti Udyan, wherein over 41,000 plants were planted over 13 acres. Civic officials said that more than 4 lakh trees have been planted in the 64 forests so far. The BMC's green cell has earmarked 1100 plots across Mumbai for setting up these forests back in 2020, out of which more than 60 have been completed. It's a very innovative method borrowed from Japan, and this is becoming more suitable in the urban area of India. Limited space, more tree, which are self-sustaining, can be planted and grown, and that will provide the forest cover, absorb the dust, the carbon, and somehow help in restoring the ecology. Okay, then the question: true knowledge exists in knowing what you know nothing. This quote is by the Greek philosopher Socrates. According to this quote, a person who thinks that he has known enough will never be able to grow further and know beyond his or her restricted domain. Okay, online class. Sorry, online class. While a person who is open to new knowledge and also does not have any hesitation to change his or her present knowledge system will grow further and achieve new heights. Similar ideas in Indian philosophy have been presented by Jainism in their theory of Ananda Kadabam, the theory of manyness of reality. It means reality has many dimensions and it is very dynamic. If one assert its absolute sense and person ends up committing the fallacy of absolute assertism. Relevance in present context, conflict in international relations. The half of the 20th century was a struggle between the two superpowers to prove that their respective ideology of communism and capitalism are better, but eventually leading to conflict and crisis. The current crisis between Ukraine and Russia is also due to accession in an absolute sense by Western Russia. Business. Okay. So Nokia company, the early Android boom did not change its business strategy and failed to adapt to changing times. This adamancy to change, which emanates from one's ego, can lead to negative impact. This has seen in Nokia company, which lost its relevance right now. Irrelevant, so many other company, and that rise of communalism, conflict in the name of religion arise due to digital thought process. Social civils like the Khap Panchayat, dowry, female feticide, etc. are mainly practiced by those believe their knowledge is absolute and not willing to change. Bhagat Singh, in his essay Why I Am a Aesthetics, correctly said, blind faith is dangerous. Thereby, blind faith is mean rigidity and a belief that one knows everything. Knows everything, right? Then the coming to the MCQs of the day. So, consider the following statement about the Miyawaki plantation method. Miyawaki plantation method, named after Japanese botanist Akira Miyawaki. The methodology developed in 1970s with the basic objective densify green cover a small parcel of land. Okay, here both 1 and 2 are correct. First, the following statement about the Kutumbari temple. The temple was originally situated in the higher slope of the hill of Darohat, Almora in Uttarakhand. Temple was built by the Katyuri rulers in the 8th century. Three deities used to worship there: the Kutumbari, Baldev, and Gujardev. So here, all the three are correct. But right now, it's the missing list. This temple is missing from the ASI list. But the following statement about the Gandhi Peace Prize. This is an annual award given to individuals and institutions for their contribution towards social, economic, and political transformation through non-violence and other Gandhian methods. A jury consisting of the Prime Minister of India, the leader of opposition in the Lok Sabha, the Chief Justice of India, Speaker of the Lok Sabha, and other one other eminent person decide the awardee each other. So here both 1 and 2 are correct. Female have two X chromosome and males have a single X and a puny little chromosome called Y. Statement 2. The X contains about 900 genes that do all sorts of jobs related to sex, but the Y contains few genes, about 55, and lot of non-coding DNA, simple repetitive DNA that does not seem to do anything. Okay, here both statements are correct and are correct statement, and 2 is not the correct explanation of 1. So answer is B. It's the following statement about the National Working Plan Code 2023. The Ministry of Earth Science has released the National Working Plan Code 2023. This working plan code is for scientific management of forest and evolving new approaches. Fine. So it's not that National Working Plan Code 2023. Okay. So this is incorrect. And for the first time, the National Working Plan Code 2023 has prescribed State Forest Department to engage in means of environment, forest, and climate change. So option 1 is incorrect, but 2 are correct. 2 and 3, option is B. The following statement about the Dugga Sankalan Sathi. Recently, the Minister of Agriculture and Farmer Welfare has unveiled the groundbreaking Dugga Sankalan Sathi app at Mussoorie in Uttarakhand. This depicts this is incorrect. This is designed and developed by the Rajasthan Electronic and Instrument Limited, Mini Ratna PSC. This will inform services to milk producers in English, Hindi, Punjabi, Telugu language. Okay, so this is animal husbandry. Okay, so 2 and 3 are correct, 1 is incorrect. Recently, Shakti scheme is in news. So Shakti scheme is related to offer free bus ride within the state to women and trans people in Karnataka. She was an Indian biochemist who in 1939 became the first Indian woman to receive the PhD in a scientific discipline. Her acceptance into the work at the Indian Institute of Science, Bengaluru, paved the way for women to be accepted to this institution for the first time in its history. Her research developed into an effect of vitamin and into the nutritive value of pulses, fatty and groups of food items consumed by some of the poorest sections of the Indian population. Her work on the nutritional benefit of the plant extract called the NIDA was inspired by three President Rajendra Prasad's suggestions. She received the Rashtrapati Award for this work. And this lady is Kamala Sohoni. Following cyclones and answer the following questions. Taukate, Foni, and Mandus. So which come first? So first is Foni in Odisha, then it is the Taukate, then the Mandus. Consider the following statement regarding the solar ultraviolet imaging telescope developed by the Pune Inter-University Center for Astronomy and Astrophysics. The telescope is said to integrate with the Aditya L1 mission, the Indian mission to Sun. So both are correct, 1 and 2.